Hey everyone, Cindy Olin here with Create Your Own Luck and Love. Hope everyone's having a really nice Thursday evening. And I hope you guys, if you're just joining me, I just popped on here. It's Cindy with Love Talk tonight. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series. And tonight we're going to talk about attraction and creating the type of relationships you desire. I don't know if you guys got the chance to watch the videos today. I was on with Suzanne Oshima and Marianne Robat, both colleagues and friends of mine. They're both really amazing, and what we're talking about is really creating the type of relationship that you deeply desire. So, starting with that, let me know if you're here, if you have questions. I'm Cindy. I'm your host for the Successful Woman's Guide to Meet and Marry Her Man. And what I really want to talk to you guys today about is attracting the kind of men that you're interested in meeting. I got something that was on my foot. Anyway, so, in this day and age, oftentimes we think, to meet people on the internet, and yes, that seems to be a very, very viable option. There are also other ways of meeting people. You can, a lot of people meet at work nowadays. Hi, Julia. It's good to see you on here. And, there's a whole variety of other ways to meet people. This is something I've shared before, but it's a really effective way to create a connection with a man. So if let's say you're at, coffee shop, Starbucks. I use Starbucks all the time. Starbucks should call me up. I could give them some really good business. No, anyways, maybe you're, Whole Foods, Starbucks, any place you like to go, and you see a handsome stranger. It's a good opportunity to look at them and smile. And smile like it's Christmas Day. Because what that does is it creates connection. And for a man, it actually, you're dropping the proverbial handkerchief, so to speak. And it gives him permission to approach you. It's super easy. And you can do something in your mind like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and as you're smiling, and it may feel like forever, but he will feel like it's permission to actually come over and speak with you. So that's a great way to open up to a friendly conversation. So there's that. If you let me know if you guys would like me to talk about dating online, because I have some great ways to create connections through internet dating and actually make it really fun and easy for yourself to create connections with high quality men and the type of men you want to be meeting already. So, for one, that is very, very, very helpful. Number two, it will help you to create, it'll help you do a lot of things, but it'll help you to create abundance in this area. Men like women that they feel are high value. So, let me explain that to you a little bit further. No matter, the event is called the Successful Woman's Guide to Meet and Marry Her Man. Most of you ladies have achieved some success in your life. You're driven, you're maybe goal-oriented, or, you have some areas in your life where you are successful, and perhaps you would like to create that abundance and love. Well, you can do that by making, if you're looking to be a high value man, how do you become a high value woman? It's by leading a life that you're passionate about. So men are really attracted to women that are passionate in their life, that have other things going on, and frankly, that other men want. Now, you don't need to be the most beautiful woman on the planet. You don't need to be the youngest woman on the planet. You don't need to be any of that. In fact, there is a certain sort of magnetism that comes across if you are that woman. If you're passionate about meeting the right partner and you have clarity as to what is it that I want? What kind of qualities am I seeking in a partner, and being so clear about that? It's so much easier to attract that kind of partner, to bring it in. And when you're open about who you are, where you're at in your life, the right people come to you, and open about that on your dates. So you're dating multiple people. You're starting slow to move faster later on. So, for example, and if you guys are just jumping on here, I'm talking about high quality relationships, how to attract and keep the kind of relationship that you want long term. So, a client of mine that I've been coaching for a while, she and I had a coaching call today, and she had gotten out of a relationship this summer, and we, after a short grieving period of processing and moving through some things, she stepped into dating again. And part of the reason why, I don't believe in a really long grieving time, and I'll talk about that another time, but part of it too was she wasn't certain that this was the man for her when we first started working together. And I assured her that it wouldn't take very long to really figure it out. And during that time, we were working on her communication, her approach to relationships, and she was becoming increasingly self-aware. So when she got back out there and dated, and in fact, she's a really great dater, and I love that about her. So she was doing great. She was dating, and she started dating one gentleman in particular, I don't know, towards the end of July, along with other men. And she's, in the past, felt like she's forced relationships a bit. She's felt like there's a part of her that's settled. And with this particular guy, she's taken her time. She's listening to learn. She was very upfront about where she is, what she's looking for. Hey, Linder. Hey, Michael. Good to see you guys on here. And I don't know if there's a delay, but, let me know if you guys have any questions, anything coming up for you. So what was great is she took my coaching, and it's always good when your clients take your coaching, right? But she moved slow and continued dating other people, getting to know other people. And in fact, he wasn't the guy in first place for a while. And it was a bit of a process. But something that she shared with me today is, as I got to know him, I realized that our values are similar, that, I'm really attracted to him, which has been a struggle for her in the past. And I really, really enjoy our time together. And I I feel more comfortable with him than I felt with anyone. And that's always a great feeling when you're, entering into a relationship. How many of you guys have felt like you've felt at home with someone, or you feel like you've known them your entire life? Or if you've had a relationship that's that's maybe started off that way and not worked out. There's different reasons for that. But, to give you guys an idea, if you move slower in the beginning to move faster later on, it typically works out really well. And listening to your body and how you feel when you're around that person is a really strong indicator of a relationship being either positive for you or negative. Now, I'm not saying that 100% of the time you're going to feel amazing. I think that that's a really tall order, and it's hard to, I think with any person, we can have an off day. It's part of the reason why oftentimes I'll coach women and they'll go, gosh, I would really love, I'm not quite feeling the spark. And they met the person for the first time. And, how many of you have friends that you met them for the first time and you're like, I don't know if I feel it. I don't know if I feel it with this new possible friend. And then after a couple times connecting with them and getting to know them, you realize that you've got a lot in common. And this person is really amazing and you're looking forward to continuing to get to know them. It's like that in dating. Newsflash, guys. It really is. And you could be a little bit nervous, they could be a little bit nervous. You just never know. It's giving people the benefit of the doubt unless they're absolutely opposite of what you're really looking for. And I mean, I don't want to say that goes without saying, but it's, if they say something that's totally out of alignment with your value system. So I've got a question right here. Marissa, how long till you know if it's not right? Really good to me, but just not feeling it. Still trying to get to know others too. Well, how long have you been dating the person? I think that if you've gone out on 2 or 3 dates, some coaches say, some coaches say one thing. I'll say this. I'm going to share 2 schools of thought. There's a few coaches I know, someone I've studied under, that says, well, keep getting to know him until you feel like your skin is crawling when you're around him. But I don't necessarily believe in that school of thought. So this is how I feel. What is it that you're not feeling? How do you feel with this person in your body? I almost think that we need to give up the idea of feeling it in the moment. I understand attraction is very important, but simply getting to know someone as a friend and seeing how you feel from there. If you've been getting to know someone for 3 months and you're not sure, the answer's no. We already know the answer. And actually, if you're in tune with your body, it's much easier to know that. Because we feel a tightness in our chest. We'll feel sometimes a tightness in, our lower chakras. And those are all indicators of not being it. If you don't fully feel like you can express your authentic self, and I think that can be tough for both men and women, because you could be really attracted to someone and think they're amazing and think they're intelligent, but there's something about you that holds back. And maybe it's because you're always trying to impress them and you don't feel like you can be your full self. Then it's a surefire sign that this person, you're not really fully expressing yourself or being yourself. And that eventually comes out anyway. So, well, I'm glad that's good, Linda. What part did you like? Feel free to share with us. Anyway, understanding those types of things, like we can be massively attracted to someone, and sometimes that huge amount of chemistry, or what I would say attraction, is a false sense of chemistry. We're actually attracted by our wounding, and that comes from more childhood and trigger type stuff that I dive deeper into. It's something I love. It's something I really get into. I help my clients with. I help them understand. Like, I take the crazy out of the girl. Seriously. And you know how it is. We've all been there. I've been there. In the sense where you feel like you're in a relationship, it's going in a downward spiral, and there's a control piece. You don't know what to do. And I'll talk about that on another Love Talk Live during this series, because I think it's really important to understand what that is, what those triggers are, and why certain people can bring that out in us in certain situations. And it comes to a fight or flight. And it's, it can be scary. It's all that. Men have these too, but usually it's different than women. And they react differently than we do because of the fact that, well, it's because of our biology and what was, I can't even think of the word, but, boys and girls are completely different from the time they're very, very, very little. Speaking of boys, my 3-year-old boy's screaming in the house, so I may have to go in a moment. But at any rate, yeah, he's screaming. Yeah, I mean, if there's no spark, then yeah, you gotta let him go. But at any rate, our biology is different, and so the way we interact with the world is different, and what we're taught through society is completely different with what's, traditionally acceptable, depending on your upbringing, depending on your parents, and the media also has a little bit to do with this as well. So, we also talked today on the show about, how we can inadvertently sabotage relationships and how to change that languaging. I was speaking with my good friend Marianne Robat. She was on the event. My son is knocking on the window and he's screaming, so it's okay, Max. He's trying to get my attention. It's his time, not our time. No, I'm kidding you guys. Anyway, I'll finish this up really quickly, but we talk about ways within which to access those subconscious thoughts that are actually sabotaging relationships. People do this all the time subconsciously, and actually how to scan your body for things that might be feeling stuck and energetically, and move through it so that you're showing up your full self. And really, these are good questions. So, and really understanding those areas, it's pretty amazing how all that works. So I'll be excited to hear what you guys think of those videos. So I got a really good question, and it's from Melody, and she talks about, what if you're Catholic? it's hard to find a religious oriented person. Well, I feel like that all depends. I feel like, first off, are you open to Catholic, Christian? Are you open to other denominations? And I would, I would look at that first. I would look at what your value system is around your religion. There are also tons of singles groups in churches and organizations and ways to connect through church. In fact, a gal that I coached, she's a Christian, Melody, and she had gotten in a relationship. It wasn't the right guy. Ended literally a month later. She goes to church every Sunday. Met a guy in church, and I think less than 6 months later, and she followed my coaching. She moved slow early on to move faster. They're now engaged. They're planning their wedding. And, they have similar values. He's totally different than any of the men she's dated in the past. So there's a lot around that. Any of that's possible for sure. There's dating sites for Catholics, for Christians. There's a wide variety. So it's a good question, though. I'm one, and there is only one man, and 15 women don't want to change. There's only one man. I don't understand that question. So maybe help me to understand that. Are you on a site that there isn't very many men? I can help you look at that. One really good site, if you're religious, has been, oh my goodness, I'll have to think of the name of that site, but it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't seem to think of it, so I apologize for that. In a group, I would try to get out there and meet men online. I really would. And how should someone show they are available but not too aggressively? I'm not sure I understand your question, but it sounds to me if you want to show, you want to send the message that you're available, well, you don't, need to scream it from the rooftops or anything like that. It can be in your energy and the fact that you're connecting and engaging and in your smile. By doing that smile that I mentioned earlier, it's an available smile. It's dropping the handkerchief and saying, hey, I'm available and I'd love to chat. And having a friendly, open attitude really invites in men because in this day and age, there are a lot of men that don't actually walk up and approach a beautiful woman on the street. You know why? Because there's a lot of harassment that is said to be going on. So they don't want to harass a woman. They don't want to make a woman feel bad. Nothing like that. So what I highly recommend is, giving them permission, smiling, even saying hi. If they have if you happen to like the shirt they're wearing, say, great shirt you have on. Hope you're having a great day. And, invite the opportunity to open up conversation. You don't ask them out. If they're interested in you, you know, you stay for a couple minutes, you chat, you know, maybe you're in the line at your local coffee shop. Hey, gosh, this was really great. I hope we get to meet like this again. And it opens up the door for a man to open up and ask you out. Believe me when I tell you this, if a man is interested and you are friendly and open and showing that you're receptive, he will ask you out. Okay? Yeah, I don't necessarily recommend bars either. I recommend dating online. I really do. My son is screaming, you guys. So, I hope this has been really helpful. Post any of your questions. You know, and the, you know, thing really quick about bars, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, of course, if you don't drink, why would you go to a bar? I mean, or unless you're being social and you're grabbing a bite to eat with friends. Anyways, guys, I'm sending you all so much love. My 3-year-old is yelling and wanting more water, and actually it's not that. He just wants my attention. So I'm sending you guys love. Have a wonderful night, and it's getting dark outside. Mwah.